Alright, hello. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing Ancient Portal with Churchill, so very, very nice. I do really like this map. This is actually one of my favorite maps in the game. And probably my favorite advanced map as a whole. And the reason why is just because I really like the mechanic that the map has to offer. I think it's very, very cool. And I always enjoy maps that are unique with a fun game mechanic that changes pretty much how the game plays. I think that makes everything a lot more fun, and since the maps they usually play sort of similar, when you have something that changes the dynamic and the way the towers work, it just makes things more fun and interesting. And yeah, I think it's time to get started. I guess I can explain quickly one of the mechanics. I mean, the map is called Ancient Portal, so you do have like a portal that like you have a portal here, and then once the balloons go there, then they enter here, right? So it makes sense, and then they go this way, and you can realign this portal as much as you want. I think there's a cooldown, but like if you want to, you can realign it, meaning that the balloons would exit here on the left. So that is one of the mechanics, and the other one is these moon platforms. You can see here there are 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. What they do is that they give buffs to the heroes placed on those platforms. So the first one, I believe, is like an MIB buff. So the hero is able to hit every single balloon. This one is popping power and range. This one gives extra XP and lower cooldown, so Brickle is naturally going to be very, very strong. She's the only underwater hero we have, along with Silas, I guess. I think Silas can be placed on water. So those 2 heroes would be benefiting from that. And then this one here is faster attack speed and I guess more popping power. Or more Pierce, I don't remember exactly, but that's kind of it. And Churchill is so expensive that, I can't really show you the buffs until we get him. But that's kind of the gist of this map. I really enjoy that mechanic. I think it's very cool. And yeah, as I said, I like when they change things up and make it so the towers are like unique, like the towers can suddenly they get buffs and stuff like that. Kind of the reasons why I like the Rogue Legends a lot, because it's great fun when the towers can do stuff that you never imagined that they could do, when you stack a lot of buffs and stuff. And yeah, I played that a lot in the beginning, like the first 2 months of its release, I played it like all the time, especially after the first update. But I haven't played it in a long time now, but that's kind of because I've been busy with making these videos here. But I do enjoy Rogue Legends. I think it's pretty fun. I guess I may do like a video of a run through it someday, who knows, but for now, though, we're just going to be doing Ancient Portal, so yay, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoy when the maps have something that, like, makes them unique, in a good way, that is. Like, this can be a bad thing, too, like Glacial Trail, like, is an absolute, like, horrendous map in every way. Covered Garden is not my favorite map either. So it's not always a good thing, but in this case, it's definitely very, very fun. So I really like this one. It's also I would say a nice little break, because we had to deal with the Last Resort in the previous one, and after this map here, we're gonna be dealing with just a whole bunch of annoying and difficult maps, so you better buckle up. Then we were starting with Castle Revenge, which is one of the worst ones in that regard. It's a very difficult map that's honestly not particularly fun to play, so it feels good to have this map before it, so we can just do this one, which is a nice and easy one. And well, of course the map is not like easy, it is in the advanced category, but in comparison to other maps, this one is simple in comparison, I would say. It is certainly on the easier side of advanced maps. Because these buffs for the heroes are very, very powerful. And, okay, the path is not that long, but it's only one path, which naturally makes things way easier. But we need some of those too. I still think it's a correct placement, because the path is very short, so it doesn't take long until the balloons suddenly get to the exit. So yeah. Alright, so let's discuss a little bit about what we're doing. I'm gonna go for a very strange strategy today. I'm essentially trying to buff Churchill as much as possible, and that's it. I'm gonna be using the Perma-Brew, I'm gonna be using Energizer, and I'm gonna be using an Overclock as well. Village, just going to buff him as much as possible and see if he can take everything down. And of course we have a little buff from the beginning. We have extra popping power and or I guess, is this Pierce or popping power? I think it is popping power, but and then range, so that's pretty useful, of course, needless to say. So the first step to this plan is to get the Energizer. And yeah, the Energizer is going to help Churchill leveling up faster. Getting the Ninja early, because the Ninja is just very good early. Especially because the Ninja can attack in 2 places here, meaning that we will not be leaking in the early rounds. So as you can see, I was able to talk without issues in the first rounds, without even explaining what's going on, because, well, it is not very difficult. But okay, we gotta be somewhat careful later on. There are some rounds that can be tricky, and our setup is technically not the best, naturally, since we are going all out on Churchill instead of adding other towers that perhaps would have been more, like, useful, if that makes sense. But it's time to have fun, because as I said, the real stuff is getting started after this one. Once we, I believe it's Castle Revenge, and then it is Dark Path or something. What is that map called? The Park Path Revenge map. That, I don't remember what it's called at all, but that's the next one, and then it's Erosion, Midnight Mansion. I believe Spillway is coming up kind of soon. Yeah, Midnight Mansion should be like Pat's Pond, Peninsula. Yeah, a lot of annoying maps. X Factor is there. I hate all of these. Peninsula is actually a good map. I guess I don't hate that one, but it is challenging. And yeah, the best or the easiest advanced maps, they arrive at the end, like Underground, Cornfield, Off the Coast. Off the Coast is a map that has been there since day 1, but you never hear anything about it, like, ever. It just exists, and that's about it. Just a map you play once and you never play it again. It just has nothing interesting going for it. It is just a map you gotta complete. Yeah, Underground is kind of similar. It just exists, but I do like Underground more than Off the Coast. It is a bit more interesting, but those are easy, and though they are all at the end. High Finance is another that comes to mind, but that one is kind of unique. But yeah, those are a long while from now, so we need to take out the trash first. And boys, there are a lot of trash to take out. I did briefly consider not doing commentary over this one, but you know, I do like the map a lot, so I would say it is worth it. It is definitely worth it. But okay, we do have the Energizer right now, which means that Churchill is going to be leveling up much faster. He gets 50% the amount of the XP he would normally get, meaning that he gets to level 20, I think, right at the very end, close to around 100. So that's what we want. What do we do now to continue? Well, we're going to be getting in a Perma-Brew. So we place the Alchemist here, and then we just start with this. I think I'll go for the middle path, because it's going to be a Perma-Brew. And what we do now is to just save up for that, pretty much. So, pretty chill. I remind you that the Energizer, while it doesn't like do a crazy amount of popping power or like damage, I guess, I remind you that it is very good against Bloons. So 63 or 78, 76, I guess. None of those would be a problem, because the Energizer does a lot of damage to Bloons. Like, the radiation does decent damage. Like, it's not just for boosting other towers. It would be a bit too expensive for that. It does do some damage on its own. So yeah, 63 here is not going to be a problem. I mean, none of these rounds are going to be much of an issue, really. I would say the hardest, like the first difficult round is probably 81, because we get super ceramics, and yeah, things do get a bit further, so gotta remember to use Churchill's abilities. They are a big part of his strength. But essentially, 81 could be a bit... It could get a little more challenging, because super ceramics and the Perma-Brew is a very expensive tower. It's like 51k, so it does take a bit of time to save up for it. So that is where the challenge lies, pretty much. We get that, and then we need to get something that allows us to pop 98, and I think Super Glue is good, so we get that, and then we get Overclock, Jungle Drums, and that's about it, I suppose, of stuff that we could buff Churchill with. I guess we could also get the Desperado buff, too. I didn't think of that, but we don't really need more range. I totally forgot. What does it even do again? Yeah, improved range. Yeah, it just gains more range. That's what it does. So we're not gonna bother, because look at this range. Churchill can see everywhere. We don't need more. The map is unfortunately not any bigger, so that means that any more range is not really gonna help. But yeah, Overclock, Jungle Drums, Perma-Brew. Those are the three things. 3 more buffs that we will be getting. Is this time for an ability? I would say yes, just to get that. Just to make sure we don't leak. Remember to use these if you think you may be leaking. Big part of his damage, so naturally he does like a lot of damage anyway, but you shouldn't refrain from using the abilities. Perhaps the, I mean, the Moab ability, gotta be, I guess, a little bit careful with it. I've talked about it before, but if you do get a lot of grouped Moabs and then you use that ability, Churchill could get overwhelmed, because there's gonna be a lot of Bloons. And normally, Churchill would, like, pop the Moabs a little slower, but he would then pop everything, instead of having everything at once. So he would pop it, like, bit by bit, if that makes sense, instead of having all of the Moabs at once. So the COMGs will be very slow anyway, so then he has time to pop it. So here's 75. I don't think we need to use any abilities, but you never know. Okay, that was 76. Very quick. And I think we have the money for round 81 for the Perma-Brew. It's gonna be close. 79 gives us a lot of money. Okay, maybe not. It's gonna be close though. 77 also. Okay, we need 15k more. We do get a couple. We do get like 5k on 78 as well. So I think we barely get it before, or maybe during 81, most likely. So we gotta be a bit careful about that. Because naturally, as I said, that's when I would say that's the most dangerous round that we have to deal with in the run. Because I did try this out and I died on 81. I misused the abilities or something, and then I got overwhelmed and I died. So do not underestimate that. That's why I'm deliberately not getting a village with a jungle drum, because I want to have as much money as possible. So I get the Perma-Brew first, and then I worry about the jungle drums later. Because we're not gonna die on 79 or 80. So yeah, that is my logic. So we get that ability here, and then we get 80, and we're good. 81. So I guess we get it during 81. That's fine. I guess we can. I will use the ability now. Where is the alchemist? There it is. Perma-Brew, and we got it. that was kind of close, but we got it. No worries. So now that we have that, we can get jungle drums. We have another buff. And yeah, I mean, look at all these buffs Churchill has. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. He's level 15 on around 83, which I think is en route for level 20. But it is gonna be close. It will be close. Okay. I kind of want to get this too for the super glue. Have him like over here and strong. Perfect. It looks scary, but Churchill is gonna destroy everything. So no worries. For COMGs, we can use this ability. It's just 2 COMGs, so that's not anything to worry about. Just trying to speed things up. The 80s is not dangerous at all. Now it's only 98 that can kill us, pretty much. Everything else should be all good. So level 16 now, getting closer and closer to that magical number. Magical level 20, because 20 destroys level 100 with the ability. Okay, 87. This is such a fun strategy, like it is very unique, and that's what I like about it too. We're doing something that's very unconventional, and I do like that. You know, this is like the final time I'm able to do this in the runs. Maybe something for a cornfield or whatever, but in general, stuff is about to increase massively in difficulty. And that means that we need to be pulling out more meta strategies. And my ability to be creative is kind of... it's not going to really be there as much, you know? So, that's why I'm doing this. Naturally, you can pick something that does a bit more damage, but I do like the Perma-Brew, though. Like, this is a very fun strategy, and there was only one round where things were a bit close, but it's all good. Alright, so we do have a lot of Moabs, but glue helps out a lot, and it's gonna get even better once we get super glue. Yeah, easy. Let's use this for fun. There we go. I believe, yeah, level 18 is gonna be huge for us. That's gonna, like, yeah, all shells pop 3 extra layers of Bloon. That is huge for us, of course. Let's get super glue right now, and the next thing we will be getting is an overclock, and that's gonna be it. Of stuff. That's gonna be all we need. So 94 is now done. Level 18. Just get the engineer here as well. since we do have the Perma-Brew, we don't have to worry about, like... And might as well use the ability. We don't have to worry about, like, the Alchemist being distracted or anything, because the buff is permanent. That's why it's called Perma-Brew. Obviously. Using some abilities, but yeah, the super glue is slowing things down tremendously. Just look at that. Absolutely destroyed. And that's it. So now we get overclock for 98. And that should be it. So we're now level 19, so we will be getting level 20. Might as well just use this one. Does a lot of damage. Alright, perfect. I'll just buff him now, I guess, and then also do this. I think that should be good. And I'm deliberately not using that Moab ability because I just don't want to destroy the CFGs just yet. There's no need to do so. And just look at this, completely destroyed. 98 too. So easy. Okay. That was weird. Did you see that? That was very strange. Like the round just didn't want to finish, but yes, sir. What's happening? Yeah, it happened again there. Anyway, he's now level 20, so let's use the level 20 ability. And might as well use the overclock too. And use whatever. Use everything, and that's the end of that. Absolutely destroyed. 1.58 million pops on Churchill, like 1.6 almost. So that's really good. 100k on the super glue, 200k on the ninja, even 12k on the engineer. Wow. Yeah, 80k on the submarine, and 32k on the alchemist. So that was it. Not a particularly difficult map, as you could see. I mean, it was hardly a challenge, but I do really like to play this map because, as I said, you can kind of experiment with all of the buffs. I guess I could show that because I didn't really get to show all of the buffs. So if I changed my hero, or I guess it doesn't matter. If I go back to Ancient Portal and just pick a random mode here, I do have the fast track enabled, so now you can see the different buffs the hero gets, like the MIB, the range, the one that we did, and of course the water, which is more XP and like lesser cooldowns. And this one is, yeah, jungle drums, faster attack speed, and more pierce. I think that's what that is. So yeah, a very, very cool concept, and I really like this whole map in general. I think it's a great map, very fun to play, and yeah, that was it. So not much of a challenge, but trust me, if you check out the list of levels we have, like coming up, we have Castle Revenge, Dark Path. So it was called that, okay. That one is not so bad, actually, but these ones here, Erosion, Midnight Mansion, Sunken Columns, Geared, Mesa, X Factor, these are all difficult. Of course, we got Pat's Pond here. But yeah, this section here, but in particular, is going to be tough. All of these maps are very difficult, so yeah, I hope you guys will stick around for that. It's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. But this is the end of the Ancient Portal video. So we are now, I believe this was our 4th advanced map, right? Yeah, we've done 4 now. So we are like 4 out of 20 or something like that. So we are starting to make some progress. So stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching.